RHOBH Garcelle Beauvais ties Dorit's husband to home invasion. Is RHOBH star Garcelle Beauvais attempting to tie castmate Dorit Kemsley's husband to their 2021 home invasion? Garcelle has made it clear that she had questions about the validity of the invasion. Yet now she is taking it a step further. Keep reading for more details. Garcelle Beauvais tying PK to home invasion. For some time now, Garcelle Beauvais and Dorit Kemsley have not gotten along. They have tried to work through things, but it seems they are always up against a wall. To make matters worse, Dorit was the victim of a home invasion in 2021. She and her children, Jagger and Phoenix, just returned home from a wedding in London, while her husband, PK, stayed behind. Dorit was held at gunpoint, and they took a massive amount of items, but did leave her cell phone at the gate. The robbers were never found, but Dorit suffered massive PTSD, which impacted her marriage. At one reunion, Garcelle questioned Dorit and seemed to question the validity of the home invasion. Was Dorit staging it, or did it really happen? This shocked Dorit, as she knew Garcelle was not on her side at the time, but it did not mean she had to downplay the burglary. Now things have worsened, as Garcelle may be insinuating that Dorit's husband, PK, was tied to the home invasion. According to Mill, Garcelle is seen speaking with Sutton Strack about the home invasion. She notes that Dorit is likely innocent, but there could be another factor. This is allegedly a nod to PK, who was not home just yet and had stayed in London longer while Dorit and the kids flew home. So why would PK arrange a home invasion for his wife while his kids were there? They are constantly in a financial hole, so this could have been good for insurance purposes. Regardless of what anyone thinks happened or did not happen with the home invasion, E.K. Kemsley has fiercely defended his family. Dorit Kemsley was robbed of $10,000 while shopping not too long after, and has not been the same since, though she has tried to work through the trauma. The mother of two is now trying to pick up the pieces, as she and PK have called it quits. However, their home is in pre-foreclosure, so they have been accused of fabricating their marital woes for a storyline. Hopefully, they can catch a break and just live a happy life, whatever that means to them. The glitz and glamour of Beverly Hills often conceal shadows that loom behind gated mansions and sparkling jewels. Among the stars of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, RHOBH, Garcelle Beauvais had always prided herself on being the voice of reason, the one who could cut through the drama with logic and authenticity. But as the new season unfolded, a chilling revelation left everyone reeling. Could Dorit Kemsley's husband, PK, have ties to the home invasion that rocked their household not long ago? A suspicious connection. The season began with a celebratory mood, as Garcelle hosted a charity gala. Draped in an elegant crimson gown, she mingled effortlessly with Beverly Hills elite, her charm captivating the crowd. But her bright demeanor darkened during a private conversation with Sutton Strack, who had come armed with gossip that would shake even the most seasoned housewives. "You won't believe this," Sutton whispered, clutching her martini glass. "I heard from a very reliable source that there's more to Dorit's robbery than meets the eye." Garcelle raised an eyebrow, her journalistic instincts kicking in. "More? Like what?" "PK's name has come up," Sutton murmured, "and not in a good way." While Sutton refused to elaborate further, Garcelle's mind raced. She'd always found PK charming yet opportunistic, but to imagine him entangled in something as sinister as orchestrating a home invasion was beyond comprehension. Still, as someone who prided herself on uncovering the truth, Garcelle decided to dig deeper. Pieces of the puzzle. The next few weeks saw Garcelle meeting with a string of sources, each adding a piece to the puzzle. One particularly damning revelation came from a former employee of a luxury security firm who claimed PK had been inquiring about high-value assets within Dorit's circle weeks before the break-in. He was oddly specific, the source confided over coffee. Wanted to know if there were ways to stage an incident without anyone getting hurt. Said it was for a film project, but something felt off. Garcelle's stomach churned as she sifted through the information. Could PK have orchestrated the crime as a desperate ploy for attention, or worse, for financial gain? Dorit had often flaunted her opulent lifestyle, but the robbery had left her visibly shaken. If PK had any role in it, the betrayal would be unimaginable. Confrontation at Kyle's dinner party. Kyle Richards, ever the peacemaker, hosted a lavish dinner party to bring the group together after weeks of tension. Her sprawling backyard glowed with fairy lights as the housewives arrived in couture ensembles, their smiles masking the brewing storm. Garcelle had decided that tonight would be the night to confront PK, but she knew she'd have to tread carefully. Dorit, after all, was still her friend, and Garcelle didn't want to shatter her trust without concrete evidence. As the group gathered around the dining table, Garcelle's moment arrived. PK, she began, her voice calm yet firm. I heard something recently that I think we need to address. The table fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. PK, seated beside Dorit, flashed his trademark grin. What's that, love? Your name has come up in connection with the robbery, Garcelle said, her gaze unwavering. Care to explain? Dorit's eyes widened in shock, her hand flying to her chest. What are you talking about? She stammered. PK's grin faltered, replaced by a look of indignation. That's absurd, he said, his tone defensive. Whoever's spreading these rumors is clearly out to get me. Kyle shifted uncomfortably in her seat. Garcelle, are you sure about this? I'm not accusing anyone, Garcelle clarified, but there are enough whispers that I couldn't ignore it. Dorit's voice cracked as she defended her husband. PK would never do something like that. We were victims. Our children were in the house. How could you even suggest this? The confrontation ended with tears and raised voices, Dorit storming out while PK insisted on his innocence. Yet Garcelle couldn't shake the feeling that there was more to the story. Unveiling the truth. Determined to get to the bottom of the mystery, Garcelle enlisted the help of a private investigator. Weeks later, the investigator delivered a shocking report. PK had been involved in several dubious business dealings, and there was evidence linking him to individuals with criminal backgrounds. While none of it directly tied him to the home invasion, the connections were enough to raise serious doubts. Armed with this information, Garcelle met with Dorit privately. In a heart-wrenching scene, she laid out everything she'd discovered. I'm telling you this because I care about you, Garcelle said, tears welling in her eyes. You deserve to know the truth. Dorit sat in stunned silence, her world seemingly crumbling around her. I don't know what to believe anymore, she whispered. PK swore to me he'd never keep secrets, but this is too much. Fallout and redemption. The revelation sent shockwaves through the RHOB circle. Dorit and PK's marriage came under intense scrutiny, with Dorit eventually demanding a separation to reevaluate their trust. PK maintained his innocence, but the strain was evident. As for Garcelle, she faced criticism from some of the other housewives, who accused her of meddling. Yet she stood firm in her belief that uncovering the truth was the right thing to do. The season finale saw Dorit addressing the situation in a tearful confessional. I never imagined my life would come to this, she said. But maybe this is a chance for a new beginning, for me and my kids. Meanwhile, Garcelle reflected on her role in the drama. Beverly Hills is all about appearances, she said. But sometimes you have to strip away the facade to see what's real. As the credits rolled, viewers were left with more questions than answers. Was PK truly guilty, or was he the victim of a vicious smear campaign? And could Dorit ever rebuild her life after such a devastating betrayal? One thing was certain: in Beverly Hills, the truth is always stranger than fiction.